What up, guys? Welcome back. My name is Luke, and guys, thank you so much for joining me today. So today's topic, it's going to be quite a sensitive topic because of how much sensitive this topic is, and I'm really going to try to be polite as possible because I don't like drama. So with that said, let's dive into it. So yes, a week or two back, I had a very interesting conversation about the difficulties men go through and how a lot of us deal with these issues. And we ended up speaking a bit about a well-known, should I say, movement, group, or way of life. I guess it depends on how serious an individual is about it, but nevertheless, we spoke about a bit about a well-known movement known as the Red Pill or Red Pill community. And before I go on, this is a disclaimer. First and foremost, let me say the reason why I find this topic so sensitive is because, as far as I've come to know, the whole Red Pill community stands or stood as a voice that advocates for issues that men go through. At least that's what I know about it. And I also know that just speaking about the whole group or community from a critical perspective, a perspective than that which it stands on, can sort of put you in a position where you are bound to be seen as an enemy. But that should not be the case. I mean, just like any other group, it should not be the case. Second point, like I've explicitly or implicitly stated in my other videos, I personally have a habit of analyzing everything from a different perspective, presented, every different perspective presented. And by that I mean, take religion for example. Personally, I don't only look at it from a theist point of view. I also tend to look at it from an atheist point of view, just so that I can find meaning that can lead to a conclusion, of course, because the truth of the matter is nothing is one-sided. Everything universal is dynamic, and us analyzing an issue or an event or a situation by sticking to one side will only leave us, with a single-sided story or explanation to that thing. And with that, we will have no solution. So, yes. Today's topic. Let's start off with questions. First question. Will you agree with me on this fact that there's an extreme side to everything? Yes or no? If you said yes, then you can also agree with the fact that there should be a limit to everything, right? Knowing that too much of everything is not good and life is all about balance, right? Okay, so with both questions answered, one might still ask, how much is too far and where can one draw a limit? Well, personally, I think it's really simple. Remember what I said about the Red Pill community? You don't? Okay, let's rewind it. As far as I've come to know, the whole Red Pill community stands or stood as a voice that advocates for issues that men go through. Yes, that point. You see, personally, I've come to learn that when a purpose of a thing is forgotten or not known, abuse is inevitable. And I guess that's where the whole Red Pill community is. Because from personal observation, majority of creators identifying as Red Pill that I've come across seem to not know what their whole movement stands or stood for. And that unawareness in itself is dangerous because it sort of blurs the limit or boundaries of just how far one can or should go. And so since these lines are blurred, it seems like majority of Red Pill content creators don't know just how far the limit is when it comes to addressing issues that affect man in general. And that is where the abuse comes in. And to be honest, I came across the whole Red Pill content concept like 3 years back, and from there onwards, of course, YouTube continues suggesting a whole lot of Red Pill content creators, and I must say some of the creators are quite informative. I mean, interesting to watch, because even when they addressed an issue, they weren't biased. They made valid point and just addressed a lot of issues in a respectable manner and presentable manner, of course. But hi, yeah, there were those whom I watched for the first time and I never watched again because of the hate and disrespect for women that their content was emitting off. It was just too toxic for any normal person to consume, and I so wish I could show you video clips of what I'm referring to, but of course, I don't want to be killed by their followers. I personally dislike drama, but then the question is, our man getting empowered when most of the content being created somehow comes off as vitriolic, misogynistic towards women, where women are being referred to as female, being presented as objects of pleasure that a man should look forward to controlling with his money, or as they call it, alpha male-ness. Aye, the misinterpretation in that. I mean, there's so much disrespect with the way in which women are literally addressed or looked at. And I feel sorry for individuals who are gullible and naive that are consuming this type of information, because over time that will become your truth or reality. And I also sympathize with dudes who enter these toxic red pill spaces after having a bad experience with the opposite gender, you know. It's a wrong thing to do. It's a bad move to do. Consuming such content is bad for healing, due to the fact that it can put you in a mindset where you begin to view the opposite gender as the enemy, deflecting from the fact that you also might have contributed to your bad predicament or experience in the first place, you know. It's not only the opposite gender that caused the breakup or whatever. You might also have contributed to that. So I feel like there's so much... when it comes to these toxic red pill spaces, there's so much lack of accountability preached, you know, and everything is just blamed on the modern woman, the modern woman, the modern woman, because I see that a lot, the modern woman. But then we can't generalize, you know, because it's not proper to generalize. Hold up. Just before you begin to say, oh no, I'm speaking a lot of nonsense, this guy is speaking a lot of crap, let me say I won't generalize. So I repeat, it's not all content creators identifying as red pill that are misogynistic. Nope. There are those who speak a lot of sense, and I personally admire. And funny enough, while researching for this topic, I found that this person whom I find interesting, funny enough, he spoke on this subject as well. And so here is the clip.
The 5 things that I hate about the red pill, and then those that are not growing up out of the rage and are using the information against the benefit of themselves. And also, too, guys, will be a live call-in show. I want those to call in, especially if you disagree with me. All right? Because you guys, even when I talk about shit like this, you guys want to disagree in the comments behind nameless avatars and blank faces. Come up here and let's have a conversation and let's address it like men. Okay. And the ladies, I want to come up and address it as well. We could talk about it. All right. Here's the first thing. All right. And I see this, the bitchy behavior, like the bitchy, the complaining, the whiny behavior that I see. Okay. That men will stay stuck in a complaining cycle. All right, about everything that has to do with female nature. All right. And it doesn't solve any problems at the end of the day. On the contrary, all right, it worsens it, because you are not doing anything to actively solution it. Nothing but bitching. Okay. Emotional bitching tirades. That's what I see down in the comment section from time to time. And as well as when I open up the phone lines and men call in. All right. And here's how I have data to substantiate this shit. Look at the views on my channel. Look at the views on my channel when I upload a video that pertains to how to get a scholarship. The scholarships that I've gotten to get my MBA. I got a full tuition ride to get my goddamn Master's of Business Administration done. And that video is one of the lowest viewed videos on my channel. Disgusting. It's disgusting. When I upload a video, Miles.
Okay, let me add this. Personally, I feel like Well, I feel like he has every reason to complain, but I feel like it's much more easier for people who are coming to these spaces hurt, broken, disappointed in the dating space and all. I feel like it's much more easier for them to sort of blame the other person. I mean, that's the most easiest thing to do. Throw the blame on the other person instead of taking responsibility. And I feel that's where a lot of these toxic red pill content creators are, because they'll rather feel it's much more better to preach that it's the modern woman, because I've seen a lot of those, yeah. It's only few really speak sense, but a lot of them, come on guys. We saying something explicitly, but implicitly what we're not saying is too negative than what we are saying. So I feel, yeah, the reason why people gravitate towards the negative and they want to hear just about, the negative that people have to say about the modern woman is because it's much more proper for someone else to throw, for you to throw responsibility on another person due to an event that took place, instead of honing that, instead of taking accountability for that as well. So I felt that's the reason. And yes, I feel so sorry, like I stated, for individuals who come into these spaces trying to heal, trying to find a better perspective, then, end up on such toxic individuals who are preaching about how bad the modern woman is, how this and that the modern woman is. I feel so sorry for those individuals, because at the end it doesn't breed productivity. It won't improve anything. So that's my take on this. Let's continue.
Stones for six-figure income. How I became six figures in my late 20s, 27 years old. How I ascended to high valueness from an income perspective. Okay, of the many things to divine high value, but from an income perspective, when I was 27. And how I was able to do that essentially and damn near almost debt free. How I was able to do that, that's one of the second least viewed video on the channel. The second, when I upload shit about Weeble tutorials, about investing, passive income. Third, disrespected video performance on this channel. When it comes to purpose, finding your passion. When it comes from upgrading yourself, your knowledge, getting therapy retroactively, all right? Because of all of the shit that you're now coming into understanding with and understanding who you are and what this world is actually about. When it comes to financial education, due diligence, and success, y'all a ghost. But when I talk about toxicity of women, oh, y'all all down there in the comment section for that. It's shameful. It's shameful. Let me be clear, in case you didn't hear me. It's shameful. It's shameful. So how do you push this idea that red pill is about upgrading, but y'all don't even watch the upgrading shit? No, but you dive in deep to the complaining about women shit. You love that shit. So what is that? And from a content creator's perspective, we get confused because we look down in the analytics. And listen, I know I have a lot.
Oh, wait, let me say one more thing again. There are some good content creators there, but the problem is why a lot of people have difficult finding these content creators or listening to them is because of their followers. Just like any other group, followers tend to discourage people who are coming to these spaces because of the way they portray themselves, the aggressiveness. A lot of followers misrepresent these individuals. Sometimes it's not really the person creating the content. It's the followers, the people who are constantly watching these individuals that give off this, bad vibe. And yeah, sometimes, not always.
a lot more, how do I say this without pissing anybody off? I have a lot more financial backing. So I can make, because of things that I've done within my life to ensure my financial foundation. So I can make a lot more riskier decisions to get out of the pander. Okay. But some have to be able to feed themselves and their families. So they have to make less risky decisions and they know what works. So it begins to feed this cycle of bullshit. Begins to feed the cycle of bullshit that we see within the space. Okay. But it has to be able to call out. My video performance on all those videos are abhorrent. Abhorrent. Okay. New word of today, SAT word. Write that one down. Go look it up if you don't know what it is. Okay. Guys, throw a like on the video. We'll wholeheartedly appreciate it. Excuse me. I apologize for that. But again, guys, when we talk about understanding female nature, it's important. It's a rather small component. What's way more important is improving. It's way more important. It's way more important.
I think that's where do I even touch? Because he spoke a lot, and I'm going to try and summarize it because he spoke on a lot of things in as much as it's short, but there were a lot of points that he touched on that I agree with. Okay. Yeah, let's start here. You see, the problem is individuals who wholeheartedly embrace toxic information just so that they can find closure. You see, that's the problem. Personally, which I understand, but then the end result is that you get into a mindset of looking at all women as bad, tricky, and of course emotionless. But that's not the truth. No, it's not. It's far from the truth, and you've gotten yourself into a wrong mindset where you are now looking at every woman from the same lenses, and continuing in such a mindset will begin to create a reality that will work against you eventually, because every woman will now turn bad, mischievous, and because as the saying goes, of course, as a man thinks, so is he. You know, the funny part is you have the funny part is you have individuals who are not even putting in the work, who are not even putting in effort, complaining about how bad women are. But the question to ask is, how do you expect a woman, right, to settle with you or to be in a relationship with you when you yourself don't even have the resources to sort of maintain that relationship? It doesn't make sense. So I find it so ridiculous at times that you find a lot of men complaining about, oh no, these women are this and that. But do you have the resources as a man? Because you should have resources, because you can't approach a woman to start a relationship with when you yourself don't have the resources, and you neither have the potential to obtaining those resources. All you do is just, live a purposeless life. No, personally, I feel it doesn't work. And I felt that's where the problem is also. You find a lot of men complaining while they themselves don't even put in the work to improving their lives and all, but yet they sit and complain about how women do not respect them. No, it doesn't make sense. I find that majority of individuals, as painful as this might be, I find that majority of individuals who are into these toxic red pill, spaces are the ones who are, they're just there. Nothing going on, and just consuming information. And that's where a lack of mentorship comes in also. That can also be blamed on that. There's less mentors out here who will show also people what is right, what is wrong. And because you find that also, this is another point, you find that a lot of these red pill toxic red pill, let me differentiate, toxic red pill individuals, you find that they're preaching about how a man should be able to exercise their alpha maleness by attracting as many women as possible, by, smashing as many women as possible. But yet, when you see a woman talk in the same manner, these toxic red pill content creators have a tendency of discouraging that. But then you are promoting it with men, like you're giving it a pass on men, but yet when it comes to women, I mean, you say no. It doesn't work like that. That's why I disagree also with these individuals, because you can't be out here telling women, oh no, you have no right to do this, but men have a right to do it. Come on, guys, let's be fair. Let's play fair here, because if we continue doing so, then what solution are we working towards? We're not working towards any solution. So the question still stands: red pill bullshit or a dose of reality? Well, it depends on whom you're listening to, really, because so just make sure to examine whether the person you are listening to stands for what he or she is advocating for, in as much as that is hard to know, and whether they're saying can bring about good results. I guess that's how you know it, because most time you find people dishing out advices and you don't even know where all these advices coming from. Is it from a place of anger, bitterness, resentment, bad experiences in life? Well, you never know. So it's important that we analyze every information we come across before accepting it as truth. And that way we'll avoid going down the rabbit hole of misogyny and anger, of course. So with that said, guys, let's get to work, and let's forget about this whole, a mentality of identifying, with groups and, oh no, this is my group, this is my group. That leads also to a dangerous thing. So just find what is good for you and that what works for you, and accept that as truth, and implement it in your life. Because if you get down the rabbit hole of, oh no, this is my guy, this is the person I agree with, advocating, oh no, this is it, hey, that that can be a sort of a religion. And trust me, I know what identifying with groups leads to. Personally, I know. So let's just get to work and see what works for you. Whoever you listen to, pick what works for you and what is you see as truth and what you can implement, and take that and implement it in your life. And I guess I'll be seeing you on the next one. Thank you so much for joining me today. Please do not forget to like and subscribe, and yes, don't forget to leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts on the whole topic, and I'll be seeing you on the next one. Ciao.